All right, well, welcome everybody. Again, this is MouthOff. My name is Stu Mendelson, and tonight we are telling stories for the Chinese New Year, the Year of the Ox. Now, long ago, back when the animals could talk and the people could listen, way back then, the people had a little problem. They didn't know how to keep track of the years and the months and the days. Time just seemed to flow on by, and they didn't know when to plant their crops and to take them in and to do all the different ceremonies and things that they needed to do. So they went to the Jade Emperor, who was very smart, and they asked the Jade Emperor, "Can you help us? Can you do something to help us remember the days and the months and the years?" And the Jade Emperor said, "Yes, I have it. I will name the years after the animals." This was a good idea, but there were many animals in the world, and the Jade Emperor didn't want to use all of them, for he wanted people to be able to remember them. So he decided that on his birthday, he would hold a contest. And whichever animals could make it across the river and cross the finish line, the first 12 animals would become the animals of the zodiac and represent the 12 years of the Chinese calendar. Well, all the animals got excited. Everybody wanted to compete. Now back then, rat and cat, they were best friends. They did everything together. They'd eat together. They slept together. They played together. They were never separated. And Rat said to Cat, "Hey, we should enter, we should really enter this contest." And Cat agreed, but Cat said, "But we sleep awfully late and we're not very fast. How can we make sure that we're on the calendar?" "I have an idea," said Rat. "Why don't we ask Ox to wake us up? Ox gets up so early in the morning, he can wake us up and we'll make sure we're there, and we'll definitely be part of the new zodiac." Well, Cat thought this was great, and that's what they decided. And all along inside his head, Rat was thinking to himself, but I'm going to be first. I'm going to be the very first animal to cross that finish line. The most important one. Of course, he didn't let his friend Cat know at the time. Well, they went to sleep asking Ox to wake them up, and the next day, when the sun had barely just broken the horizon and had not even come up to show its light into the world, Ox came and woke the Cat and the Rat. "Wake up! Wake up! It's time for the contest." And the Cat and the Rat, they woke up, but they were pretty tired, and the Ox thought to himself, "These two are much too tired to walk all the way to the river, and if I leave them here, they'll never make it." So he said to them, "Why don't you guys climb on my back and I'll carry you to the river?" The Cat and the Rat thought that was a great idea, and they climbed on the back of the Ox. And they made their way all the way down to the river. And as they made their way, the sun came up and the other animals began to come out and make their way towards the river. And the Cat and the Rat had such a good place on the back of the Ox, they decided to stay there. And the Ox jumped into the river and began to swim across that hard tide as the river flowed down from the mountains. And the Cat and the Rat had a nice place. They were safe, they were warm, and they were going to make the finish line before many of the other animals behind them. But that Rat, he was a little devious. He thought to himself, "I still want to be first." So he said to himself, "I have to do something to my friend the Cat." And he came up with an idea. He said, Cat, look at that fish. Isn't that a great looking fish?" And as soon as the Cat turned around and looked at the fish, the Rat pushed the Cat, and the Cat fell off the Ox into the water. Now the Ox felt a little bit of its weight change, but wasn't really noticing, because behind it could see the horse and the tiger coming along, and it did not want to lose, so it went even faster. And the Rat, it climbed into the Ox's ear, where it wouldn't even be noticed. Well, the Ox did make it first across that river. And just as it was getting to the finish line, the rat jumped out of its ear, jumped across the finish line in front of the Jade Emperor and yelled, "I'm first! I win!" Well, now the Jade Emperor, he was pretty smart, and he said to the rat, "Now, rat, I know you're not very fast, and I know you can't swim. How is it that you came first across the finish line?" And the rat said, "Because I'm smart, because I'm smartest of all the animals. That's why I was first." And that ox who came in second, he was not very happy at all at being tricked by that rat. But he made it. And the other animals started to come in behind him. The dragon who could fly, he flew down and landed by the Jade Emperor. And the Jade Emperor asked him, "Dragon, you could fly, why weren't you first?" But the dragon told him how he had to take care of a drought far off in the land, for the animals knew that the dragon was in charge of all the water. And then the tiger came rushing in. "Did I make it? Am I first?" And they shook their head and they said, "No, rat is first, but you made it." And the horse came, and the sheep came, and the monkey came. And the last of the animals to cross the finish line was the pig of all the animals. And the animals said, "Pig, how? Pig, you are lazy, you are fat. How could you possibly make it across the river?" And all the pig could say, "Is there a big feast? Do we get to eat now?" And then the animals knew why. And lo and behold, the 12 animals that became the years of the zodiac in the Chinese calendar had made it across the finish line. And finally, wet and very angry, Cat ran across the finish line. He said, "Did I make it? Am I one of the animals?" But the Jade Emperor shook his head. He said, "I'm sorry, there's already 12. You didn't come in time." Well, as you probably guessed, the cat was not very happy with his friend Rat. In fact, right then and there, he began to chase the rat. And even though the Jade Emperor tried to stop him, he could not. And ever since, from that day to this, Rat and Cat have always been enemies, and whenever Cat sees Rat, he chases him, for he remembers the day he was tricked and kept off the Chinese New Year. Thank you.